Hello everybody, it's Jean Marie. I'm going to work today with the bargain bead box. This is the January bargain bead box, the Dusty Rose, or I think it was called Dusty Rose. Honestly, can't remember. I think it was Dusty Rose collection. Yes, the Dusty Rose collection. Going to use some of these really pretty shell beads that we got in the box this month. Some of our nice little 8mm gemstone beads that we received. This pretty pendant that we received, I did take the bail piece off in it, the little circle in the bail. I just trimmed it off, and I'm going to sand it down a little bit more with you guys, and I'm going to rough up the edges a little bit with my sander so that when this gets down to that pretty shiny bare copper, it won't show quite so much because it will look like other spots of that are supposed to be that way. And so I'm going to set my beading tray here aside for the moment and just work on that with you. So all I did was just take my get to it was my cutters, and I just snipped them both off as much as I could. So now I'm just going to take an emery board and I'm going to file it down till it's smooth, just so there's nothing pokey. Okay, so just like this, and you can see it shined up the metal. So I'm just going to scuff it in other areas so it doesn't look abnormal for that to have that shiny spot. Just random spots, so it all kind of looks like it's supposed to be that way. I'm also going to go in and just kind of get my edges of the front part a little bit. That way it doesn't look like you know, like it wasn't supposed to be like that. So it kind of hides it, and it all just sort of blends in together now. And I'm going to take a couple of, and the reason why I took the bail piece off, and first off, mine was really crooked and it didn't look very good, but also because I kind of like this laying this way as opposed to this way. So I'm just going to hook a couple of small jump rings, a couple of little 6mm jump rings here in to it. If I can find another one here. There's one more. And I'm just going to take a couple pairs of my pliers and I'm going to catch right through the loop of this loop here of the heart that's at the top. Ooh, I might have to go with a bigger jump ring. It doesn't look like it's going to clear it very well. You know what? I'm going to get a slightly bigger jump ring, but a thinner metal. If I can find one. Right there, looks like a pretty good one. And I'm going to go right through that very thin opening right at the top of the heart right there. Please excuse the noise in the background. That is my cats. There we go. That worked really well. I did kind of bend my jump ring a little bit though. See if I can't salvage it. If not, I'll just grab another one. Because they are a thinner jump ring, they also are a little more susceptible to getting bent, but that worked well. So there we have that. So now my pendant piece is hanging this way, and as opposed to, you know, the way it came. Alright, so I'm going to set that aside for now. I've got the bail piece cut off in it. I've got it all smoothed down. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. So the pattern that I have for this, or thoughts that I have for this, are stacking, if I can get it here, stacking this together like that. And this is a small bead cap that came from my own stash, as opposed to these ones that came in the box. So it's a little smaller. I'm going to put my bead in, bead cap it again, and put another bead cap. This is really hard to show you this like this, but all right. So I'm going to kind of lay it out, and then my little black bead, 5 or 6 of my little shell beads. I think it's going to look pretty. I hope so. And then we're going to end it by going back the other way again with this whole thing. And I'm going to repeat that twice for each side. So I'll start stringing it up with you guys. If I can remember where I put my copper. There it is. Bead stringing wire. And this is just copper, bead stringing wire, tiger tail, you know, whatever you would use, whatever you have in your stash to use for beading your jewelry. I'm going to pull off about 2 feet. Cut that. Crimp in it here somewhere. Don't really want a kink in it, but it's not too bad. I guess I can live with it. I'm going to tie a knot in the end, as I normally do. Okay, so the way I wanted to end on both ends up here is right after this last section of beading here. I'm going to put this again, the little black bead again, and I'm thinking like maybe 5 of the little gold bicones, copper bicones, whatever color bicones. If I can find the rest of them. I guess they're more gold than copper, but so yeah, I think 5 would look good. So I'm going to start it with that. Let's start it with those 5. Okay. I'll try to bring this around so you can see the whole repeat. I mean, you'll see it as I'm beading it anyway, but okay. So basically this is this being the center over here, of course being in line with each other the way they belong. This would what it would look like from the pendant piece to the end here. So I'm going to start up here. Hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, I'm going to start with 5 of these little gold bicones. And honestly, this is not a super hard project for today. It's just simple beading, bead stringing, and then just changing that bail out a little bit. And I think I do want to add a couple links of chain to hang it from so it hangs a little lower. Okay, so I've got on my 5 bicones. I'm going to put on one of my black tourmaline. Maybe. Black beads are the worst. Get it up until the light so I can see it. I'm going to put on our rhodonite. I honestly can't remember. Were both these ones and the big ones rhodonite? Seems as though they were, but let me check real quick. Yeah, we have the 8mm rhodonite round beads, and then we have the crystal faceted rondelle beads. No, that's not it. 6mm pink rhodonite faceted beads. Yeah, so I guess they were both. I guess they're both rhodonite. These little pink ones and these ones that are pink and black. But anyway, I digress. Put the smaller bead cap on so that it's facing the pink bead, the little small pink bead. Put the bigger bead cap on so that it's facing out. Put my bigger rhodonite bead on. Put the bead cap on that one. And okay. And this is what I've got so far. So I think that looks kind of cool with the two bead caps going back to back like that. Okay. Now from that point, I'm going to put on another of the faceted rhodonites. I'm going to put on another black tourmaline. And then I'm going to stack on a bunch of my little shell heishi beads. And I think I have 6 here, so. And honestly, it isn't a number amount so much as it is kind of a measurement, because these are all, you got really thick ones, you got really thin ones, and if you do it by number, you're not going to have the same look. So I'm kind of just judging it more or less by like an inch of beading. Okay. And that is the repeat we're going to do again. Now, I'm going to start with another black tourmaline, another faceted rhodonite, the bead cap section, back again. So, we have the black tourmaline, another faceted rhodonite, the small bead cap facing that, larger bead cap facing out, the bigger rhodonite, the other bead cap, again the small bead cap, the faceted rhodonite, the black tourmaline, and again with the heishi bead cluster here. And it looks like I have 6 laid out here too, but these are much thinner, so I might need to add another one to this one. So there's the 6 of them. Let me see how it looks. Yeah, you can see it's a shorter section than the other one. So I'm going to add one more to this one. Just another little bit thinner one, just to give that measurement similar appearance. Okay. And again with the black tourmaline, the faceted rhodonite, bead cap down over that, the larger bead cap, and another one down over it, and another one facing out. And I do think, I didn't originally plan to have this in the middle, but I think I am going to have another faceted rhodonite here. And probably, I have it enough left in here, another black bead before I start hanging my pendant in between. I'm not sure that I have any more of the black tourmalines though. Oh, I do. So I'll get 2 more of those out. And I'll put on one. maybe. So at this point I want to hang in the pendant, and I don't really think it needs to hang from chain. I think it's going to be just fine. I wasn't quite sure if it was going to hang too far up and it would like hit on the beads, but I don't really think it's going to. I think it's going to be just fine. So I'm going to start reversing that again with the black tourmaline. And if you get it when you go to bead it, when you get it in here, if you push them as tight enough so that there's no gap, your jump ring will actually like float in the groove of the two beads rather than down here on the wire, which is much better for your necklace. It won't fray quite as quickly. So just a tip there. All right, now we got to work our way back. So I need another pink rhodonite. And another bead cap. Another large bead cap. The larger rhodonite. Another large bead cap. And another small bead cap facing out. So I'm getting this look here going. I think it's really pretty. I think it looks really nice. Man, I'm so happy we got these shell beads. I think they are just beautiful. Probably already mentioned that a time or two, but I love them. I think they're gorgeous. I have a memory wire necklace that I'm working on right now for with those shell beads. That I think is going to be really pretty. I'm hoping to do a tutorial on once I figure out what I'm doing with it. Kind of have an idea. I mean, it's pretty straightforward when you're using memory wire, but I think it's going to be so pretty. Okay. So how's that cluster look? Does it look about right? I think that could use one more as well. There. And now just start putting in the next area of this. I'm just trying to find the hole in this black bead. I'm sorry, I'm not moving out of screen intentionally. I mean, it is intentionally. I'm trying to find the hole. Right, and I do have a pair of earrings to go with this. This is, like I said, this is a rather simple stringing project, so I'll make a pair of earrings to go with it as well. There's nothing wrong with the easy stringing project. They are just as pretty. Alright, now some more of the little Haitian beads. Let's get them in here. And let me see. I think that one looks okay. I don't really think that needs more. Again, you'll use your own judgment if you decide to do this or anything similar. I love copper jewelry, but I do struggle with the designing with it. To me, it always has a vintage look. The the antique copper always just looks so vintage, so it's hard to design with it and actually make something that looks more modern, I guess, newer. Not that there's anything wrong with the vintage look. I do like it. And now we'll finish off with 5 more of these little bicone beads. And this is what we've got so far. I think that's quite pretty. I actually kind of like it at that length too. I don't think I'd like, do I really want it longer than that? Let me see how that hangs. Well, I definitely have to have it longer than that. It won't fit around my neck. But I don't want it to hang long, I don't think. Not quite choker, but not quite, breastplate level either. I kind of like the looks of it just like it is. All right. Anyway, I digress. Let's get this closed off. So I'm gonna move my chain out here. Get rid of that beading board. Pull out my crimp beads. I still have not bought any copper clamshells, so if I should be fortunate enough to find any in here, there's 1 and there's 2. I am so lucky. All right. I honestly think that does it for them too. I don't think there's any more. These ones have been used. All right. So first thing I want to do is drop this one down over the line. Because this one was closed up tight, I know I've used it before. I don't want to bend it too much, so I'm going to use that as my first one so I don't have to open it too far. Pick up my crimp beads. Oops, probably ought to get in frame. Literally all I was doing was crunching a crimp bead. Okay. Close that clamshell up over it. Move everything down. I do kind of want to make sure that these 2 tourmaline get pushed together here. All right. Open the clamshell up. Put that on. Grab a couple more crimp beads. Two tourmalines are not going to come close enough, I don't think. Oh well, they're fine. Close enough. As long as it's not moving around and wiggling too much, it'll be fine. They won't wear too much. I just don't want to wear the coating off in this tiger wire. The metal on it can be abrasive. All right. There. That went easier than normal. Minimal struggling. It almost has an Egyptian look to it. Do you see it? Does anyone else see it? This kind of Egyptian-y feel to it. It's very pretty. So this is the earring we're going to make to go with it. Okay? So, let me first off find my stuff, because I have a tendency to hide stuff on myself. Alright, so I'm going to need one of my pink beads. Let's see if I can find one that matches that one a little better. Good enough. I'm going to need one of these. That one match pretty good. Not that they really have to, but there's that one. I'm going to need one of these. And I'm going to need 2 more of the bead caps of each. And I figure out what I do with my other bead caps. Oh, there they are. Alright. And 1 ball head pin. These are a little short. I think I used a bronze one on that one because I didn't have any copper ones at the time. These came in, but they're not as long as I thought they were going to be. Alright, so all I did was put on my bead, drop the bead cap down over it, drop one of the smaller bead caps down over it, drop on my faceted rhodonite, and then a small bead cap down over that one. Oh, sorry, the big bead cap down over that one. And then put the small bead cap facing up. And I think I'm going to have to get out another bronze one because I am running out of room here with this. I was afraid that was going to happen. I don't know. Might work. I'll try it. Why not? Live dangerously. Alright, so it might be just enough. So I want to bend it over my pliers enough so that I have a little room. I know it's hard to see here. There's just a little space there. It's because my beads keep floating back up. Okay. Get my round nose pliers out. Whoops. Bang and crash. Up and over, and guess what? There is not going to be anywhere near enough. I tried. Alright, so let's take that off there. I'll go dig out one of my bronze ones. It really doesn't show. I mean, you can't even tell. But, such is life. I'm gonna find them. Because knowing me, I probably didn't put it back. Okay, so these bronze ones were ones that came with one of our boxes a while back. They're like the super, super long ones. I think they must be like 3 inches long, 2.5, 3 inches long. But anyway, doesn't matter. It will work. I will definitely have enough wire here to work with. Okay, so let's do this all over again. Now the bigger one down over it. The smaller one facing up. And drop that little bead into it. So this is the stacking configuration. Okay. Alright, let's try this again. Get in here and bend my wire over. And this is just going to give me the depth of my pliers here for my wrapping width. So I'm just bending over that. Up and over, rotate, bring it around, and there's my perfect little loop, which half the time are not perfect. But that's okay. They work. That's all that matters. Okay, so hang on to it. Take your tail and just wrap 2 or 3 times, depending on what your earring is going to take. Mine took 3, and it made it nice and tight, which is what I want, because I don't want it floppy and loose. I don't want my bead caps flopping off in each other and hanging sideways, and so I do want it somewhat tight. Trim that off and tuck that end right down in there without crushing my 4mm bicone, hopefully. And there's our earring. Pretty cute. Quite simple. This whole project is really, really simple. It does have a really pretty look to it. Alright, I have my toggle. And I have some of my chain. I'm going to hook chain to just one end to start with. Figure out how long I want it, like I usually do, and you know, the whole process. I'm sure you all have your own methods of figuring out how long you want your chain to be. I find it easiest to hook one side, put it on, and bring the chain around me, and then I can figure out how long I want it to be, where I want it to hang, how much drape I want, and all that good stuff. Okay, so I'm going to take this, and I don't want it to hang long, I know that, I want it really high. So this is what I come up with for chain. And it measures out at about, oops, if I had my ruler the right way, right about 6 inches of chain. So 3 on each side. I'm going to cut out a 1/2 inch or so, like probably 3 links, because I have to add my clasping. So if you went with 5 1/2 inches of chain, you'd get like 2 and about 2 1/4. Assuming I can math, which we all know I can't. It's not my strong suit. And let me see, let's grab a pin. That's why I prefer to just do a measured length again around my neck and then cut it in half. I don't have to math. Alright, take that link right there out. Well, I had it. Of course, now I can tell which one I was doing that way, so I have to remeasure. Let's try that again. Yeah, that one right there. If I had my 2 pairs of pliers instead of my cutters, it would probably help, but I'll grab my cutters first, so my cutters it shall be. Alright. And we just need a few more little jump rings, and we are done. Fuzzies in there. This one needs to be trimmed. Honestly, I could probably just have opened up the jump ring, the chain ring, and hung it right on there. These toggles are really thick. I didn't quite realize how thick it was. I probably should. I'm probably going to have to go with a bigger, well, it's fine. Unless I go with a bigger jump ring, but seems to be working. This piece isn't quite as thick as that one was. That was really thick. This is not so bad. All right. And I just need to dig out some ear wires now. I think I have them right beside me here. You never know. Could very well be wrong. Got some lever-backed ones there. I don't particularly care for lever-back. I know a lot of people really like them, but I really do not. There's that. There's that. I'm using everything everywhere here. Alright. So this one is already open, so apparently I already used it once. Or my granddaughter did. Which could very well be the case. And there we are. So I hope you guys like this one. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I am real close to hitting my 2,000 mark on my subscribers now. So yeah, if you guys know of anybody that would be interested in watching, please share with them. Yeah, anything to get the name out there. And this is my company is called Wildfire Jewelry, but my screen here for just looking me up on YouTube is just my name. It's just Shamarine. Just check under Shamarine. You'll see the fireball and all my jewelry. And so yeah, just, you know, if you should happen to have somebody, a co-worker or whatever, that would be interested in looking, please share so that I can hit that 2,000 subscriber mark. Thank you guys. I'll put this on a bust and let you see it, and I'll be right back. So here it is. I think it's so pretty. It came out really nice. That pendant's quite nice. I love the shell beads. So thank you guys. I do appreciate every one of you. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And if you guys get the box, happy beading. Have a great, great day, guys. Bye.